What's up, guys? Let me turn this music off. I had the music in two different places. Okay. All right. What's up, guys? Uh, Happy Tuesday. Looks like we're finally getting the breakdown that we waited all last week for. Thank you guys for joining. Just looking for one thing. All right. Got. I didn't upgrade to top data. All right. Here's our key watches, our list that we're gonna go over today. What's up, BK? Here's our list we're gonna go up today. We have still a lot of range bound stocks. Kind of some started breaking down yesterday, and some gave us false hope yesterday. So let's see what's happening. Data. I think we have a little bit of data. I don't think we have any speeches. We'll look at the economic calendar there, um, and then we'll go through each ticker and you know get our game plan going. I need get a haircut tonight, and get our game plan going. So let's head over to the charts. That's my analytics. So let's head over to ES. Looks like we finally, wow, we actually wicked it. We wicked the triangle. We have this demand that's holding up, but I really don't, I'm really not gonna play it. I'll show you the possible upside play that we could play, but actually let's start with our economic calendar. Economic calendar, Tuesday, June 7th. We have these two little things. I don't think these are gonna actually affect the market. Main things are going to be that Thursday job claims, which is, jobs are the last thing. And then you got that CPI Friday, which is going to be pretty big. And then the federal budget balance. So, and then also next week we are heading into FOMC. FOMC is so fun to play if you play it right. So we're definitely going to get some interesting low volume going into Wednesday, and then usually that's when all the volume comes in is Wednesday. So we have that next week, which is going to be definitely huge. So definitely watching this wedge. The main thing is we do have a small little we had a nice rally. We based here for a nice day, and then we rallied. So that the first part of our triangle, you know, if you have the breakdown, that's where your PT is going to be, is that first part of the triangle. So we could possibly bounce there, or we're heading down to this good March 26th rally to 3979, but I think 4,000 is going to be a key level. Need to mark that up. There's your key level. There's possibly one in here, but 4,100 finally broke. You can tell how well we held it yesterday. Higher time frames, we really didn't break down. This was overnight, but 4,100, we didn't really get close to it. We kind of held it very good. Yesterday, the fun plays were off that 41.24. I took this on futures. I got a good, nice overnight of this breakdown of that 41.21, and I wanted to again do the retest. But you could tell you could take it down on futures was easy. Just take it every time you either break down or retest at 4,100. Overnight, we had that fake low push up to that 4124, and then dropped on that. Let me pop this up here. It's like watch and chat. If you guys are watching, make sure you guys like. Definitely need to get more people in here. NQ, this is the possible upside play, which we have this broad information. So this is something I'm watching. It could break down, but you can tell every time at that was at noon, that was at 9. So early on today, they made a new lower low and then pushed it up right here. They made a new lower low right here, pushed it up strong. So I'm watching is what they do with that new lower low. They kind of wicked it. People who go long are going to put their stop here. If they get long here, if they're still holding, they're putting a stop there. They're getting stopped out unless, they took profits. So, but definitely watching downside. But a lot of things happen to do with CPI on Friday. The main thing I wrote on the thing is, what's up, Jay, was Target. The article wrote, there's Target down 8%. Overnight, they slashed their Q2 guidance for the second time in 3 weeks. Apparently, they have an overabundance of inventory, so they had to slash their guidance, which is interesting. I thought that was positive because now they don't have to buy inventory. Said the retailer now expects Q2 operating margin of 2%, down from 5.3%, the midpoint range guidance offered during the recent results. Bloomberg consensus sits at 6.55. For the second half of the year, Target expects operating margin to be range 6%. So, Target is kind of one of the top leaders of retail. So this is probably bringing retail down. I think what's kind of holding it up is KSS Kohl's had their possible announcement of their sale, so that could possibly push XLP, but definitely watch XLP as a whole. Kohl's, Walmart, Costco, Macy's. All these could fall with Target. That's lowering guidance. That's gonna be a big. You can tell a lot of companies did start lowering guidance, and Target's one of the nice ones. So we have that. So it's buying QQQ. I'm not going to take this one because we already touched it. I'm watching this kind of doji on the 4-hour where we have that rally up. We rallied up. We touched it once, twice. We had 2 nice bounces off this. So basically 407 is a pretty solid support. We break below that, but we are in demand. Possible bounce up. I want to see a breakdown of this demand, and we could go down pretty hard. We just had that nice rally up. So, nice rally up means nice rally down. QQQ didn't notice this till after the trading day, but at 4-hour, we have our rally up. We have our gap down on the third, from the second to the third. So it's a supply gap down. So definitely super strong. We came up, touched it at open, and then the only issue I had was we touched it once, twice, three, four, five times, and 6, 7 candles. So it's kind of not the strongest. You kind of want to hit this and then reject hard. You don't want to kind of bounce it, and then reject hard. VIX was just chilling at 25. We've been just hanging out at 25. Looks like we're finally breaking up. This wedge is unbroken. We didn't hit this demand yet, and this little small demand we have down here, but we kind of held this pivot. But the main thing is what's going to happen going towards the end of the week. But had this little nice downtrend. Kind of like that one better, broken. So if we could continue VIX to go up to head to 28, we could see it go down. Kind of have this supply, but we have been hit once already. There's that supply, that retest of the supply, and then another drop. And we have this one that's already been tested too. So technically, if we get up here without any data, definitely look to, I'm gonna start looking to go long. Apple had their event yesterday. Sell the news, guys. Their events are pretty much sell the news. Their event went on at 1,300. Nice drop. They rallied, I think, probably 1,400s too. And then there's that sell the news, probably when their event stopped. I think the only thing they rallied on was their privacy. But sorry. The only thing they rallied was on they didn't update their privacy. Pretty sure this is what I heard through tweets. I didn't really read into it, but they didn't update their privacy policies. So that's why Facebook pushed. I think Facebook was anticipating the updating their privacy, which you know doesn't help Facebook. But they also, their stuff was good. They have pay later, which you can tell that's when Affirm kind of took its fall off the cliff, which took me a little bit to figure it out. I had to read all Apple stuff, but there's when they announced the pay later on Apple. But Apple, just could not break that 150. Definitely watching 143, but probably not looking at Apple. Apple's kind of boring. Been super choppy. Hold on, I gotta get my dog out of here. All right, so watching at 4,300, I think a lot of things are going to be either play the breakdown or play the breakdown and retest. So, if we do have, we're opening up here, kind of watch the 4,300, kind of like that. I think the retest of a lot of things are going to have to come if we do have downside, like before open. AMD looks like it's not holding 105. Caught a nice play off it. I was a little bit late to it. You can tell we're holding at 104. Key pivots 104 right here. That's high right here. You can tell. Look at that perfect touch of it. Came up. I think we got calls like right at like 105. Nice push up. That dark pool was my target, kind of where the sell off began. Was my target. Nice play on that one. Definitely want to see it hold that, or the same thing with Apple, kind of a breakdown, and then 100. If we get under 190, I probably 100 or 90. I'll probably go shares. Watch shares on that one. Facebook just mooned yesterday due to the privacy, but we have this kind of 190 key level, which we broke down yesterday, but we had support here. We've had decent support bounces off this 190. So like anything else, we have this uptrend. A lot of things we have this uptrend. We're kind of like, I don't think it's 100% ascending triangle. Not the best forming one. But, look at this range bound. We had ups and downs, nice push up, rejection at 200 psych level, came down. And then yesterday, kind of our high was kind of the high of yesterday. You can tell this was yesterday's high. There's that rejection of yesterday's high. So a lot of things, you're watching the breakdown on these levels, and I love the breakdown and retests. Microsoft, we got a next week's put. It was a 250 put, which was actually pretty cheap. For next week, if we catch a $10 move on that, we're gonna do pretty good. But we had this breakdown. You could tell we're making higher lows, making higher lows, making higher lows, and then we seem to break down. We broke down kind of end of day, but we popped up with that tiny little rally we had end of day. But definitely like that breakdown. We broke down at 270, 268 pivot here. We'll go 267. There's that 267. You can tell it was used as a support and a resistance previously. Breaking down overnight. So definitely I'm watching right here. This 263 area, possible bounce there. We have been touched. We almost touched straight through it too. So definitely not going to be the craziest bounce, but overall, looking at that daily, I think it's a daily or 2-day. Actually, a weekly. So weekly, strong push up. Hopefully, modestly come down, have a little tiny bounce from that. And like I said, Microsoft, I didn't really like Microsoft because the upside, because you had so much. Look at this, 4 weeks of chop right here, just range bound over 4 weeks. Thought I was muted for the whole time. Nvidia, Nvidia was fun yesterday, guys. I told you guys watch 192 off the open. We had that breakdown at 192. Nice play there. Nice play there. Then we had another breakdown of 192. We can tell we were just consolidating. There's that breakdown, retest, and then that's where we fell. Had a little bear flag. Continue to fall. Actually hit my 185.60 demand, but that's when I got into Sorry, that's why I got into AMD. There was that 4 hour demand where we have base huge push up. Now I'm kind of watching this. We'll definitely watch at 182. I'd love to see that breakdown of that 182 and then go. But we also have this doji right below it to also be scary. And then we have just weird action from earnings that I'm not really playing. The only thing I'm going to play is that 160 breakdown, which is a must hold for Nvidia. You could tell there's that resistance, broke above, tested it, continued up, and then look, we came down, tested it, went up. Tesla, 731 breakdown. You can tell 731 didn't hold. 731 was a previous support, broke down. I want Tesla puts at open yesterday, but I want when Nvidia is cheaper. Tesla's premiums are pricey as hell, but we're looking at that 690. We've already broke that 700 cycle level, so we're definitely looking at 690. Computer's lagging a little bit. 690, which we have. Yeah, we broke that 700. We can tell back here. Here's your resistance. Right here we kept support, and then let's see what's gonna happen at 690 n. But that 667.98 kind of have a demand there, and we have a demand there. So downside on target's gonna be a little tough. I think a lot of people were looking at, this is why I don't like playing inverse head and shoulders. A lot of people were watching this inverted head and shoulders. That was almost beautiful. Should have came up here and then continued up. But you could tell they had bad news. That's why I say news trumps TA. Had that bad news, dropped. Amazon, probably getting hurt with Target. The main thing with Target is they're just coming out and saying that it's going to cost a little bit more money with running their business. That's a beautiful descending triangle. Right, beautiful descending triangle drop. But, Target main thing is they're getting killed with gas. How much how much they have to move through that how much they have to move that inventory with diesel and trucking companies. And that's super super pricey. I was reading an article that the guy saying that trucking companies are going out of stock left or going out of business left and right because it's so expensive. So expensive. This is a beautiful, like I like to tell people, a W pattern. If you see this is where you want to go long. You can tell there's your W. So this is just a like liquidity grab. This is what they were probably doing from earnings. They were getting ready for that stock split, for this run up to the stock split. So market makers, they're the ones that move the market. You and I cannot move Amazon stock. They're the ones that are going to move it. So what they do is after earnings, they drop the price. We start reversing. Everyone's like, oh, we're reversing. I'm going to grab shares. If I get shares here at 109, I'm going to put my stop loss right here at 102.41. Maybe we could do, 102, pretty round number, whatever. You know, they have a nice push up. Look at this beautiful green candle, sideways. Another beautiful green candle. Bottom wick, that's strong. What they do? Rug pull, sell it off, give you false hope, sell it off. Then they come here down here, grab all that liquidity from the stops. They stop hunt because they want to fill their orders going long. They stop hunt and then look what they do. They ride up. If you find this in any stock, that's what they're doing. You tell in it's just like a broad information what we're doing at NQ. Put that back. There's your W. Not the best looking W, but we come down, we come up, sell it off, give you false hope, coming up, and then push up. You tell they made a new low there. You put it here, there's that new low. You can tell right there. New low. Got stops, pushed up super strong. So I mean that's what that's why I don't like playing those breakouts. What's up, Nas Life? That's why I don't like playing those breakouts or breakdowns. If you played that breakdown, you're like, oh, this is a key pivot. We're gonna break down. Look at that. You got in here, you got stopped out. There's no way you won that trade. So that's why I'm kind of watching this and see what they do. They kind of wicked it a little bit. So let's see what they're gonna do. If we break that down, we definitely have that broad information. Then we have also this demand right here. Let's just go through 8:30. All right. Let's do some algos. So these are all 3-day charts on do your charts. This is trading ticks. Algo flow. This is net inflow. So when you're looking at these, the green line is the net premium of calls. So if we're going up, there's more people buying calls than selling calls. So the net premium of calls is rising. The red is the puts. So if it's rising, more people are buying puts instead of um, instead of selling. So they're both rising. So that it doesn't really show you much. But you can tell, look, how it crossed. That's a divergence. You can tell, look at that divergence cross. Beautiful, actually beautiful spot to get up. You can tell when we dropped. This is the overall market, so there's a lot of hedging going on. That's what I'll show you. SPY. There's a lot of hedging too. We tell we dropped, and then look what came after. People started. Um, People actually got calls when we dropped. Nice little pop up. Another drop. People started selling. We had a nice increase here at like 410. That's how we popped up to 416. This is 3 days, so it's a little different. That's the overall market. SPY's a little challenging to look at because there's a lot of hedging going on, but SPY was basically sideways. Unfortunately, we had this huge drop. Don't know what this is about. I think I read that there was a big sell that was canceled, so that might have possibly been that. So it's kind of hard to look at. We had QQQ. Here's QQQ. You can tell right before I drop what happened. Puts rose. Very interesting. So it works. Someone started loading puts into right before I drop. Of course, calls kind of yeah too, but of course you can't tell if these are. You can't tell what dates these are. But here's your. It's very interesting that we popped up when puts were going up. But puts are going up. Look, we drop. But this is 3 day. Like I said, I wish they had the time down here on what day they were. But here's AMD. AMD has been pretty nice. It went from 100 all the way up to 110. Pretty nice push up. You could tell probably when we crossed on the 5 day was down here at probably 100 right here. It was a nice time to get into it. Nvidia, they're bought break even, nothing special there. Tesla, a little interesting how we sold off, but calls kept going up. Puts went down. So kind of even though Tesla's falling even more, so I'm pretty interested in that on what Tesla's going to do. Apple, there's your the big drop the other day. You can tell people started loading up puts for the event, loading up puts for event. There's our drop from our event. Call stayed sideways, so no one's loading up on calls. Everyone started loading up puts. So I do the main ones. Things like this. When you watch this, you can tell someone load up calls on the video, and people sold puts on the video. So you can tell that was a good spot to get in right at 180, and look, it almost hit 190. So it's trade ticks. I think it's like $50. Some discords have it. So like AMD, that really made no sense. But that's algos. I just like to do 3 day kind of daily, just watching them. When you have certain spike ups, or you're like, okay, let me look at it. It's kind of someone's sent an article on Doster Limab. Let's read this article. This is interesting. Has nothing to do with the stock market, but this is it could be life changing. But it's patients with a particular kind of cancer, a particular kind of mutation, received a new therapy called dostarlimab and had results not seen in cancer trial before. After being treated with the drug, all 12 are in complete remission with no surgery or chemotherapy, no reverse side effects. That's crazy. That's awesome. Um, that's recorded by the Times. That's pretty cool. It's a good start. Good start into curing cancer, guys. That's pretty. My wife's in pharmacy. I'm gonna ask her about that. But that's pretty big. Rectal cancer that had spread beyond the local area. Their tumors all exhibited a mutation affecting the ability of cells to repair damage. 12 were treated, and pretty cool. 12 for 12, 100% success rate at early on. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. All right. Still messing with that 12442 area. Previous pivot. But we're just if you guys are watching, hit that like button. If you guys aren't subscribed, that'd be awesome if you guys subscribe. We're just hanging out right now. I thought they'd make the move overnight. I thought it'd be a bigger sell-off overnight, kind of like make the move overnight where you and me don't hit it, futures traders. If you guys aren't into futures, and you guys have like a kind of a bigger port, kind of look at futures. Put a little money into it. You could make some decent money being smart with futures, catching a small move, quick scalp. It's just a quick scalp. You could spend 10 minutes a day trading futures and make 500 bucks quick. I was on a computer for 5 minutes yesterday. I made $100. I can't complain about that. Caught that little breakdown of that. But that the overnight breakdown right here is what I took of that 4100 key level. Just took that breakdown, little move, pretty solid. Sunny as I had this close at 4162. We dropped. I missed $2,500 on just that little play yesterday on just one contract. Um, the thing with futures is there's no theta, there's nothing. You're buying here and you're selling based on price. From here to here. The drop yesterday, that morning drop. This was we'll just go to SPY because it's just easier to see where SPY open and close are. It's just as simple right here. This was the move I caught from the kind of the high retest, and then I sold probably right here. I just started out, so I didn't really want to hold long. I just want to make my quick little bucks and get out. But from here to here, $2,500 a contract. I mean, you got 5 of them. You're done for the month. Like you banked. There's your flag and then another drop. But I like it because there's no there's no you just what's up, Brad? You're just trading price. You're just trading. All you're doing is trading price, trading price. Just a quick scalps. We're still, look at SPY. We're still just ranging, still in a range. We've been holding at 407. 407's been a key. You could tell like that. There's your key level, 407. But that's your key level. You can tell there's your test of your resistance. Resistance broke up support, support, possibly a support bounce, but we kind of are making. I mean, our highs are kind of the same. I read someone on Twitter. Every time we close at a high a day since the beginning of the year, we've gapped down the next day. So keep that in the back of your mind. If we were closing at high a day, that rally on Friday made no sense. Rally Thursday. Remember that end of day rally was just weird. Just randomly took off. But we closed high a day, and then, he was showing that more times than not, if we close high a day, and we had that weird rally, we gapped down the next day. So I'm going to keep that in mind. Might play that as a lotto in the future. Let's go through some charts. Affirm got hit with Amazon or Apple news with Apple has pay later. Honestly, don't know where we're going with Affirm. Will not play it. But I mean, this thing's sad. This thing used to be 176. Now it's 22. Amazon. Watch Amazon. But Amazon can drop with Target. Target did lower their guidance 2 times in 3 weeks. They're but Target lowered their guidance for the second time in 3 weeks. They're just saying their cost of running the business is just increasing. It's obvious. I mean, last time they, after earnings, they lowered their guidance because of fuel and how much it costs to freight all their product in. That's gonna see what happens with Amazon on that news, because Amazon seems, I feel like Amazon uses more fuel and diesel than Target, but you also got to remember that probably Amazon deliveries, that's probably their cost. And you pay Amazon Prime, you don't pay Target Prime or anything, so they cover the cost somehow. So, but definitely watching Ad Sympathy on XLP. Definitely keep XLP if you want to play Walmart, Costco, Target. All these stocks based on Target lowering their guidance. See what happens. Crowd. Crowd 157 area could possibly a nice retest. This thing's not the best thing to look at. Crowd was fun for a little bit. Now it's just nothing. FedEx probably getting hit with fuel to Target too. So FedEx could hurt. DJ, I have the article up. I'll read it to you. The retailer, so Target expects Q2 operating margin. Let me turn this back around 2%, down from 5.3%. Their operating margin at 2%, down from 5.3%. The midpoint of a wide range guidance offered recent earnings. The company has taken actions to tackle inventory surge, such as more markdowns, removing excess inventory, and canceling orders. They're having a lot of right now. It's just they have excess inventory, which I felt like that was be positive because they're not spending money on inventory. But let me look at for the article. Target. That makes sense. It says Walmart stores are concentrated in states where gas and diesel prices are below the national average, like Texas and Florida, while Target stores skewed towards high cost states like California and New York. Gasoline and diesel prices are higher in those states. But here is the Target chief operating officer gave a market a bigger jolt in the company's earnings by adding $1 billion to its transportation and freight cost forecasts. The costs were hundreds of millions of dollars higher than the first quarter. They added up $1 billion on their transportation and freight costs in 2022. So then for the rest of the year, you know the yeah, remember truckers. Yeah, I'll check out. I'll pop up Tesla. But the main thing, nice. Spy's kind of still ranging though. It's the only bad part. ES, I just want to see the main thing with DJ with ES is I want to see if they're actually going to break this down or not. It seems like they're not right now. We're just chilling on it right now. We are in a demand. I don't like the demand. There's ES. We're in a triangle, and then NQ. We're in kind of a broadening range. We could tell every time we made a new lower low, they kind of faked us out and then popped up. So that's what possibly happening, but we don't know. And whatnot. But back to the truckers, and then I'll get to Tesla. But I was reading just a trucking company guy said, the real problem, like everything you eat, everything you're wearing, basically everything you're touching, everything you're living in, came from a truck. He says there's trucking companies going down left and right, just left and right. The cost for him to fuel his trucks is just getting out of control. He gave a price breakdown of how much it costs for him to do his trucks. And if gas prices don't get better, it's just going to get worse. And that's you know that could be, well, he was given like we're going to start fighting for food, start fighting. You're going to see shelves empty. You're going to see the toilet paper and paper towel crisis again probably. And if we do and keep ending, keep heading this way, I don't think it's going to be that extreme. But all they do is pass the cost on to the consumer. That sucks. Like, go grocery shopping and you know my average grocery shopping for me and my family was like $70 to $100. Now we're spending like $150 to $200. It's crazy. But Tesla. The problem is Tesla had bad news yesterday with Elon Musk dropping. He says they're overstaffed, which does hurt. Tesla's been getting hit with a lot of negative news. To Twitter. Elon Musk said that he thinks Twitter breached their contract on proposal, but um, then Elon comes out, he's cutting 10% of the staff on Tesla because they're overstaffed, which then you think like, well, if they're overstaffed, that means they're not making as much money. Um, you got to think about it. If they cut staff, they're might having some money issues. But then, that was brought up to Biden, and Biden pulled out his little paper out of his suit and said, they're not getting any big, money. Ford's getting new factories, and someone else got a new factory. We could tell used car sales are way down. That could be hurting Tesla. There's a lot of factors going into Tesla right now. That's kind of why I'm kind of staying out of kind of the fundamental side on a lot of things. Just trying to stick to the chart. But um, but yeah, EV is gonna be big coming up. Um, you can tell. Just main thing is just trade your charts. Um, I had that 690 kind of key level, and then we're kind of like 690, 677, but we also have a demand down here. I think Tesla's, yeah, there's your support. There's your support bounce here, support bounce there. So you have nicer support bounces. So a lot of things, I'm watching DJ is kind of like the breakdown and retest. The breakdown and retest. That's going to be the main thing. If we're going to break down, we're still just hanging out. That wedge. VIX is, we're hanging out, but VIX is slowly creeping up. That's something you always gotta watch. If we're sideways and VIX is slowly creeping up, that's something you gotta watch. Yesterday, look at you go. Yesterday we opened, VIX shot up, down. VIX was a lot more movement than the market, and the market was just kind of sideways, and then we kind of had our fall, and there's that push up. Someone asked me about Target. target, we have that gap below 139.67. Nice gap there. Main thing is we need to break that pivot. If we do, let's see the swing low to swing high. But there's your fibs from COVID low to the high. So that's your swing high to swing low. Tell it looks, I mean, it works pretty well. Tell the fibs are resistance and supports. Let's see, we're breaking down at 0.618 fib, 155, which at 0.618 is usually a nice bounce area for a lot of stocks. But of course, have that news issue. But below 139, we do have that gap fill. Let's kind of see closer day. Yeah, it needs to break that pivot. Kind of had to bounce off that pivot up. But yeah, I mean, they might bounce it. Who knows? Goldman Sachs hikes Q3 oil price projection to 140 a barrel. Ooh. Ooh. But a friend was asking, sheesh. A friend was asking about ES, and I told him the main thing is watch NQ. I think NQ is the main thing to watch over ES. But yeah, I mean, I've said this a couple times. There's your lower low. There's your low. What do? They brought price down. Look at that. There's that. You want to play the breakdown? Got you. Drop. There's your trap. They bought price back up. What would they do with that new low? Boom. Got some stops. Push the price. So this is what I'm kind of watching. See if they're gonna do it again. They might. They might not. Who knows? But that's how broad informations happen. You kind of like there's that's why I don't like playing the breakout because look at that breakout from here. If you play this breakout, you only got that little bit. If you're playing that pullback, look at that pullback. You play that pullback in here long. Look at that. Way better risk reward right there. So that's the main thing at NQ. But I think we have downside. We're finally getting that sell off. it's all up to CPI. You can tell we're making making lower lows. Main thing is we need to break this pivot. We need to break 4072 to make a new lower low. I think that was a double bottom low, 471.50, 472. So we made a low, higher low. So we've been making higher lows on ES. Eventually, there's that breakdown, and just let's see what happens. Oh, yeah, I had Roblox. Someone supposed to send me a chart. I was like, I showed this the other day. Microsoft, nice $3 down. Should be good on that one. Someone wrote long lithium and uranium for the next 10 years are welcome. But economic calendar, I mean, we don't have much. Main thing is going to be unemployment or jobless claims, which is kind of like the last little hurrah on, inflation's horrible. There's three: inflation, something else, and then jobs. Jobs got better there was less unemployment and then more jobs created, I think, which was bullish for the market because the economy is getting back together. So the Feds could be a little more aggressive with their rates. But the main thing is going to be Friday, that CPI, which I gotta figure out why it's on the 10th. And where's PPI? Where's the producer price index? Am I missing it? Like it doesn't make sense to me. Sweet, Brad. Yeah, I have two. I only sold one when I posted that, and then we had that little stupid pop up end of day. But the main thing with Microsoft, I just said like I didn't like much upside. I said there wasn't you know the best upside because we had like 4 weeks of just straight chop. So it'd be hard to get through all that volume right here. Then we had a nice uptrend. I feel like we're starting to get downside, higher low, a lower high, lower high, lower high. Ethan. Yeah, definitely watch oil too. Um, what's Oxy or CVX? Why are they down? I do now. Yo. Hi. What part of Ohio are you at? Oh, okay. I'm going to. My mom lives in Cleveland, so I'm going up there end of the month. Yeah, your Amazon should pay nice. 121. Target had bad news. Here's the Target news. Q2 operating margin around 2%, down from 5%. Oh, and I gotta. So my old job will not separate me. I quit. Um, Beginning of the year, I quit, and I'm waiting for my PTO balance. I finally contacted them for my PTO because you get your PTO paid back, and they won't separate me, so I'm still an active employee. That's like Snap, Microsoft, and now Target with re-guidance. That's crazy. That Apple event was sell the news after that stupid pop. Bro, you should trade futures. Well, I was being an idiot yesterday, so I didn't really make any money. I was really kind of just messing around and just going in blind. But I could have made $2,500 just on one contract with that drop. Yeah, definitely watch XLP, Walmart, Costco, even like FedEx and UPS can hurt. They have a lot of money going into fuel and trucking and all that. Um, you know, but Target is just coming out and saying that it's hard to hard to it's costing a lot more money to run their business. But then you have Goldman Sachs coming out saying oil is PT of 160, so keep that on watch. Oil could continue to go up, which will hurt inflation of gas. But the main thing with inflation and the Feds is going to be the job market. That's the last thing. All right, try to get this set up. I'm gonna watch the chat too. Microsoft had dark pool. Microsoft had dark pool. Microsoft had a dark pool at 268.75. Let it dump. I got puts on that. Here comes the pump before the dump. What's up? Tesla's messing with 700. And Tesla's down to 690. I think you said that one huge drop on it. I think that was canceled. A lot of people were showing like a canceled. Yeah, I think that's showed up on Trade Ticks. Nvidia at 182. And Tesla off 690. No, I want a 4100 test. I took the 1 minute orb on spy printed. I forgot the what? Fake breakdown. I don't like when people say SPX has a gap. SPX always has a gap. Royal, check out market hours chat when you got a second. Yeah, I mean Amazon's down 96%, guys. No, someone posted it's down 96% with no news. They forgot about the split. Yeah, oil is the play. Golden Sachs pumping oil. Rejected 4107 on the dot again. We're at VWAP. I don't know. We had a W formation. I think we're starting to make DM right now. On 32nd. Good, because I got puts on that 4107 rejection. Come on, break VWAP. Bag of Doritos almost $6. WTF. Dude, yeah, Doritos are expensive. I gotta say, I might start using no dislike. Roy, you know you could trade OTC on Weeble now. Now they just gotta get their trailing stop loss and they'll be good again. How old? You should know why. You should know why. Some self-discovery right there. Man, Tesla bounced right off 690. So we had some pretty decent levels marked out. That 182 for NVIDIA, you know, I said I wanted to break below though. Still watching. If it breaks below that 182 right here, wow. So, oh, it's on 2 minute. But there's that 182. It looks like we came up and tested, you know, resistance at 187. Let's see, kind of in the middle. Showed you guys Tesla. Tesla, I don't know why it's not showing on this chart. It's on my other chart. Key level 690. Unless you support here. So definitely watch kind of like a little push up, and then watch just like the strength hammer through it. So definitely watch 690 on Tesla to get down to like 670. Let's see what Amazon's doing. Nothing crazy, you know. ES kind of held this wedge, kind of on the higher time frame. It wicked it, and we're kind of wicking this 4100, but 4107 was hit 1, 2, 3, 4 times now. So 4107 is a little strong. Yellen is testifying. Yeah, on finance. Decent pop up over at 41. Oh wow, there's that huge pop. We had an inverted head and shoulders on at 30 seconds. I mean, it was was perfect. Well, did you play calls the 412? There's FBI's phone.
They did a false breakdown. All right, YouTube, I'm gonna end it here. Thank you guys.